Welcome back to our final segment of this Thanksgiving preview with our coaching staffs. And before we get to Lynn English and Lynn Classical, we want to remind you of our trivia question. As we do every Thanksgiving, we're asking you to pick the winners. The 4 games you see on your screen, the 3 local games, as well as the Prep and Xaverian. 581-9061 is the number to call, so you can get in our Magic Paul Revere Bowl and have your name picked out to win some prizes next week. As we're winding down the football season, and joining me now to my left is Dave Dempsey. To my far left is Coach Gary Millay, Coach Referee Gary Millay, I should say, after doing the Pop Warner game. He may have found a whole new career yesterday. But we start with you, Coach Dave, because you're closest to me. Nisio Echeverria, your experienced quarterback, everything kind of starts from there and works out with.
Well, yeah, I think Nisio's been a 4-year starter for us at quarterback. We threw him in the fire early when he was a freshman, and he's really come along, and he's done a nice job. Here he is with a nice run against Danvers to help set up the winning score over there late in the game. I believe this is against Beverly here, and he runs a nice sprint out, gets outside around the corner, and you know, he's a gutsy little kid, and he's worked hard, and you know, he's paid his dues, that's for sure. This is him in the Salem game. He's really been able to throw the ball well this year. He hits Calvin Johnson over the middle in a nice post pattern, and you know, he's done a nice job for us. He also plays real well for us on defense. He's come up and he's made some nice plays, and here he is making a nice hit against the in the Gloucester game, I believe. That's the Don Bosco game, Don Savio game. And here he is again against defense. I mean, against Danvers. Gets a nice pick right there from his safety position, and he does a nice job. So he's done a real nice job for us, and he's been a player for us all year, and you know, he's a good kid.
The thing that surprised me most is when you look at him, you saw that real big hit he had coming up from the secondary, and as you mentioned, not that big a kid, but he really sticks.
Yeah, he'll come up and hit you. There's no doubt about it. He's you know, he's been on enough of the other end of the hits when he's taken them, so he's really learned how to give it out as well too. So you know, he's a tough kid.
I look at your quarterback, and I've said all year long, this is like a dream season. If you said, I'd like to be able to do this for my senior year as a football quarterback at English High School, he's been outstanding, and I personally would have to vote on my MVP of the conference. I don't see everybody else as much as I see the local teams, but I can't picture anybody doing any more for the team on both sides of the football than Scotty Lynch has.
Well, Scott worked hard all summer long. You know, he came down to the clinic, and he put in some time, and you know, he's a good-sized kid. He has good speed. You see him here against Swampscott, breaking the sneak, and you know, this is basically his own call most of the time at the line of scrimmage. If he sees it, you know, he takes it, and he's done a great job of doing that this year. He's one of our captains, and he's done an excellent job, you know, leading the team also. He can also throw the ball when we have to. You see him here making a nice pass to Leroy Brown. And, you know, like when you talk about most valuable players, he does it on the defensive side of the ball, too. This is a big one against Beverly. Had just kicked a field goal, and we fumbled the ball, and they just got it back, and then Scotty intercepts the next play and takes it all the way, and that, I think, turned the whole game around for us. Here against Swampscott, Scott comes up, and he lays a nice hit here. He can also come up. I think after Rob Kempton, Scott's probably one of our hardest hitters. He comes up from the corner spot and really lays a lick on you, and I couldn't ask any more out of a quarterback than what, you know, Scott's done this year. He's made it real exciting for us.
Well, I kind of expected him to do it a little bit on offense, coming back with your experience, but the thing that was really surprising was the defensive end of it.
Yeah.
Looking at Calvin Johnson, he was a different role this year. Last year he was like a backup quarterback, played different places. You put him in this year, he's made some big plays for you this year.
Yeah, well, we took you know, Calvin, and we play him a little bit at wide out. We'll play him here on a reverse. You see it against Winthrop. You know, we use Calvin quite a bit. We use him in different places. He's a really skilled and talented athlete. We use him at the H-back as far as running the I formation, where he makes a nice cut outside here against Marblehead. You know, we use him in quite a few different places, and we throw the ball to him. We use him out of the here he is as a wide receiver. We'll split him out and throw to him. So we kind of, you know, move him all over the field, and you know, we feel it's pretty tough to find somebody to match up against him. So here he is again against I believe this is Marblehead late in the game, in a nice touchdown. He ran a square out. He also plays safety for us on defense, and does a nice job. Sits back there and makes a nice interception here. So you know, we use him all over the place, and we're not afraid to throw him in. Here he is on a blitz here. I believe that's against Saugus, and he makes a nice play there. So you're right. Last year we kind of focused him as a backup role and a quarterback and a wide receiver, and this year we'll use him as a running back. We'll use him as a wide receiver, and he'll also play a lot of defense for us.
I remember sitting with the Swampscott coaching staff scouting the Marblehead game against at Manning Bowl, and when I mentioned to him that he was an underclassman, will be back next year, they couldn't believe it. They said, no, he's got to be a senior. We don't want him coming back next year. Leroy Brown, we talk about not being big and not weighing a lot and not being a force on a football field. For a young man who is not that big, he is a force on a football field, and he is exciting to watch, whether it's offense or defense.
Leroy gets it done. He's another kid, I think, similar to Calvin. You can put him almost anywhere. Here we use him on a little bit of a reverse against Marblehead, and as you see, he makes a lot of things happen. He loves to cut back against the grain, and he picks up some nice blocks. He's another captain, another leader. He's been with me for 4 years now. It's going to be a little funny next year looking out there and not seeing Leroy around. Here against Winthrop, I feel is two of the greatest catches I've ever seen in high school. This was one of them for a big first down. He lays out, and I kept the drive alive for us right before the half when we were able to go in and score. And then his favorite thing here is running down the quarterback or coming in on the quarterback and knocking the ball away. He's done that so well for so many years for us that, again, we're going to miss that a little bit next year. But, not a big kid, but just a lot of heart, and always gives you 110% on the field. Here he is with an interception against Gloucester, and he does a tremendous job for the size and the skill he has.
I know you say he likes to give a little ground and get things going. When we saw that run, is that what you thought when the play was happening? That's what you say now. What were you saying when the play was happening and you watched him go back and forth and around and corners?
Well, sometimes he likes to go back and forth a little bit too much, and he hears it from the sideline. But when they break him, it's a good one. When they don't, it's not.
Kareem Gibson could be one of the fastest players in the Northeastern Conference.
Yeah, Kareem's got some nice speed. He's an underclassman as well. He's going to be back next year, and he can move, he can run. Usually when he gets to the outside and gets the corner, like against Dom Savio here, there aren't too many guys that are going to catch him. He's got some good speed, and we like to use him as far as getting him, letting him bounce to the outside. And once he gets to the outside, he's got some good speed. The other thing with Kareem, he's a nice young man. He's a gentleman. He's a fun guy to be around. Here he is against Marblehead with a little bit of misdirection, and he gets on the outside. And again, it's just he's a tough guy to catch. So we're looking forward to him next year. He's going to be an enjoyable person to have back. I believe this is against this is an interception here against Saugus he makes. So he's a good kid to have around, and he's fun to be with. So we're looking forward to having him back next year. And he does have some speed though. He's got the jets.
Jason Chapini, a good basketball player, good football player. He's a good athlete.
Yeah, Jason, we've been blessed. We've had two great tailbacks the last 2 years. Jason come in this year and filled in at tailback, but he can also go out wide and catch the ball. Here you see him against Swampscott with a big run. He also has, like I said, great hands, so we'll use him in different situations to do different things. Here you see him against Winthrop on the quick toss, and he get outside here a little bit, and he runs side, and he also plays strong safety for us, which is one of the tougher positions on our team. Here you see him against Marblehead on the screen. This was a big play in the football game. We were down a couple of TDs at the time, and again, like I said, he likes to catch the ball also. He's more of an H-back type, where the last couple of years we just had that pure tailback. With him, we can do a few more different things with him. Here was another nice catch he made here against Danvers over the shoulder. Lynch put the ball right there for him, and that was a good catch to keep us in the football game there. And here you see him on defense, blitzing through and coming up with the big hit. He's done that consistently for us, and a big interception right here against Winthrop. That was on one of their early drives in the game to keep the score 0-0.
At the time, that looked like the big play because you stopped them and then drove 80 yards in the closing minutes.
Exactly,
and 12 seconds left, scored the touchdown. It looked like the big play of the game.
That was a big play, and Jason's another one. When he comes out and puts his helmet on, he gives you 100% all the time, and he's done an excellent job for us.
Antoine Walker, unfortunately, you haven't had him completely healthy. the whole year.
No.
He's had a problem.
Yeah, he's been banged up quite a bit. I think it started in the Winthrop game. Late in the Winthrop game, he took a shot to the knee, and it kind of got some swelling. But he's another kid that can run well. Here he is against Dom Savio, and I think that was probably his biggest game. I think he had 150, 160 yards rushing for us that game. Here he is in the Marblehead game again, running off tackle, and he just gets caught by the ankle. But he's not a very big kid. He's just quick, and he's got good instincts in running the football. He moves well, as you can see here, and I believe it's the Swampscott game. The big thing with him, like I said, he's had all these little dings all year long. Got taken out of the Beverly game and brought to the hospital. He came up and made a nice hit. Got brought to the hospital with a couple of cracked ribs, but he's the type of kid who comes back for more, and he keeps pushing. Here he's a nice interception against Beverly. Here's where it happened.
This is the play I was going to say.
Yeah, this is the play here where he got hurt. He just came up and he got banged up. So we haven't really had him healthy all year. So it's been a tough year for him his senior year, and he's been coming off an injury every week. So.
That first game against Dom Savio, he really lit it up and opened up a lot of eyes. And people said, boy, with Kareem in the backfield and him, it's really going to be something. But unfortunately, didn't have him healthy the whole year.
Right.
You've started a little bit of trend. You keep taking linemen and from the year before and stick them in the backfield and making them fullbacks. And Paul does a pretty good job.
No, Paul has done a good job this year. It's a hard position to learn in 1 year, but he runs hard. He's got decent speed for a big kid, but he loves to run people over. I think, if he could run in and score a touchdown or run a kid over, he'd rather go and run the kid over. We try and get him to get into the end zone, but he runs hard. He likes to run hard. Here's a big one against Winthrop. This was right after we were penalized here, and he lays a little lick on Mason there, and we got a big first down. Paul's made a good transition from guard to fullback. Here you see him leading the way for Scott. He gets out in front, and that's one of the reasons why in our situation, usually when we take a lineman like that and put him at fullback, he does a lot of the blocking for us, but he also has to be capable of running the football too.
That might have been one of his better games, the Marblehead game. He just said, follow me, Scotty,
yep, he
in
did.
the fourth quarter.
Here you see him here with a big tackle against Marblehead. He also plays defensive tackle for us. Again, Paul's one of our captains, and he's done an excellent job leading the team, and he runs hard when he gets the football.
David Morales, good football player for you.
Yeah, David's not only a good football player, he's an outstanding person, and he does a nice job in the classroom, and we kind of made a move and put him at fullback as well. But wherever we play him, he's played center for us. He started 4 games for us at center. He started, here he is at his fullback position against Swampscott. He runs hard. Here he is blocking against Beverly. He just kind of cleans the corner out and allows Nisio to get outside. I think the big thing with David is he's got he does the job so nice in the classroom. Here he is against the Dom Savio again early in the year on a punt, getting down and covering the punt. I believe this is him here again on a nice, where he really shut down the counter trap against Savio as well. The thing with that I like about David is not only is he a leader on the field, but he's got a 3.93 GPA in the classroom, and he does a lot of nice things. He's the type of young man that's very personable, and he's nice to be around, and he holds a lot of respect from his teachers and his coaches as well. So.
That's what's outstanding to hear is the fact of the 3.9. You say good football player, that's great, but the 3.9 makes it even better. The next guy, I guess you could both talk about the next guy, Jimmy Anderson. He played at Classical 1 year, switched over to English, but he came on strong for you, made some big runs for you, made some big defensive plays for you, Guy.
Yeah, Simi got a late start, and again, he plays hard when he's in there, and here he is on a run against Swampscott, I believe, and he breaks a couple tackles here, and he changes his direction. I guess he must be watching Leroy and those guys.
I was going to say, you might have another Leroy coming back next year.
But no, he's done a good job. Whenever he's in there, he's run hard, or he filled in. Tony Amico broke his thumb early in the year, and Simi came in and filled in at free safety and did an excellent job. Here you see him against Salem, and it was a big run for us at the time. And, he doesn't say much on the practice field. Some of the days you don't even know if he's there or not. Here's the big hit against Swampscott, laying Woodfork out there. That was a big hit at the end of the game, and, we're looking forward to having Simi back next year.
As far as our telecast goes, that might be the hit of the year because after the hit, you didn't see it, but if we continued the tape, you would have seen Peter Woodfork take his helmet off and walk towards the English bench. You know, so at the time, I was glad to see Peter come back and be okay after that. But the young man we're going to talk about now is close to me because I coached him 1 year at the Boys Club in basketball, and he's been a story and a half, Eric Lane.
Yeah, Eric Lane's a funny kid. He's, you know, he is totally deaf, and here he is. He's running back punts for us. He's been deaf since birth, and he's just exciting to be around. He gets everybody going, and he really, you know, he's had a frustrating year though. It's been tough for him because a lot of the things that he wants to do, he has some difficulties communicating, but he's been able to hold it together. And you know, my big thing with him is I'd like to see him go on and play in college. I know Gallaudet University is very interested in him down at in Washington, D.C., and it's a deaf university down there, and I've been in contact with them. So I'd like to see Eric, you know, go ahead on and you know, be able to play at that level. I think he's got some great talent, but plus he's, more than anything else, he's been able to overcome all that handicap, and you know, and he really doesn't look at it as a handicap. His other skills are so keen, and his peripheral vision on the field, and his other senses are just so sharp that he does some things out there that I don't know why he's doing them until we sit down and we watch the film and slow things down, and then we can see why he made a cut, because his peripheral vision is so strong that he picks up kids a lot sooner than we see him, you know.
Well, he's a classic example of if you want to do it, you can do it.
Oh, he's doing it.
You know, and he certainly is.
He's doing it.
Dave Medrano, he was hurt a little bit for you, and then but then came on. He had some big catches in the Winthrop game, a couple of big ones. One big one we thought was going to turn the game around at the time, but
yeah,
unfortunately it didn't.
Dave's been a 2-year starter for us. Got hurt early on, and he has seen him against Winthrop. This was the big touchdown catch right before the half to give us the early lead. And then we went right back to Dave again here for the 2-point conversion. Scott makes a nice fake and then throws the ball where the only place it could be thrown, right over his shoulder. And like, Dave come back healthy. When he's healthy, he's, I think, one of the top tight ends around. Here's a nice catch against Danvers. He was also considered to, you know, we were going to think about putting him at fullback early on in the year too, if Paul hadn't worked out. Here you see him on defense. It was hard for Dave to earn his job back. Walter White did such an excellent job out there for us that you know, Dave was fighting for his job back, so we moved him in on the defensive line because, you know, we needed to give people rest, like DeLuca and Zimmerowski and those big guys, give them a blow here or there, and Dave filled in there, and he's done an excellent job for us. He's a nice kid, and he works hard on the field.
We look at, we knew some of the names of some of the kids you had coming back, and we knew about Karim coming back, we knew about Nisio, we knew about some of the others. Brian Smith has been a pretty good find for you.
Yeah, Brian is he's only a sophomore, and he's done a nice job for us. Here he is catching a nice ball. I believe this is against Marblehead. Brian's been able to go both ways for us, and he's worked out really well for us. Here he is on defense, I believe, coming in and making a nice sack here on the quarterback. He is a nice find. He's a good kid, and he's going to be back next year. And I like his enthusiasm. Here he is against Swampscott making a sack on the quarterback. He does a lot of good things for us. He's not that big of a young man, but you know, he's technically sound, and he plays the game with some intensity, and that's what you look for in the young kids. You know, you're not his size will come and he'll develop, but I think you're looking for the level of intensity and the level of confidence in the younger kids.
When you look to the offense, you like to mix up the run and the pass and keep everybody guessing, but you need some people. Obviously, Scotty can throw the ball. We need some people to throw the ball too, and he had Leroy and he had Dave Medrano, but Tony Miko had a good year, all things considered. He missed a couple of games from injury, but prior to being hurt, he had a career game.
Definitely. You know, we knew we had Leroy, and people were going to cover Leroy, and you know, we needed another split end, and Tony come on real early. You see a nice catch there against Saugus, and then he had a career game against Marblehead. He has a real nice catch here. Scott lays the ball up there for him, and Tony goes down the sideline and pulls it in, and he had 3 interceptions on defense that day, and you know, my feelings are if he didn't get hurt, that he would have definitely come on and had a big year for us, although he did have a great season. It was hard when he come back. Tony's the type of kid he wanted to get in there. The first week he was back, we were playing Gloucester, and we were lucky enough to get out to an early lead, so we didn't really feel as though that we wanted to use him. The doctor said he wasn't sure if it was really healed that early on. And we held him out against Beverly a little bit too. Here you see a big interception in the Marblehead game. And then against Beverly, I'm sorry, against Winthrop, he come back and he started getting back to form. We put him in, and he made some nice catches here. You see him coming up and make a nice tackle. So Tony's done an excellent job for us. He's a good student, and I think that he has a career, ahead of him at the college level. He has a wideout or maybe a free safety. I think he's that good, and if he didn't get hurt, we really could have used him a lot more, but he made some big catches for us early, and I think he finished up real strong.
Looking at your vocal point, you had anytime you start with the defense, and you had some experienced kids coming back on the defensive end, especially the big guy, Brett Wigfall.
Yeah, Brett's a big player, and he's got some real good quickness. Here he is against Marble. I mean, against Don Savio. Early on, making some nice tackles, and here he is in the Saugus game, shutting it down and closing in the middle. Against Swampscott here, he just overpowers the guy and comes in, and he's got some real good upper strength, and he's got some real good quickness and speed. This is in the Winthrop game here early in the year, where he just, he comes in and dominates. No, that was somebody else. Who was that? Derek Lane. Looked like there was coming in and dominating on the, here we have, this is Davin Clements, I believe, number 60. Let's see, yeah, this is against Winthrop. This is Davin and Matt Lorino, and there's Davin Clement there, number 60, making a play against Winthrop. This is against Swampscott here. I believe this is, let's see, Robert Jones, doing a nice job for us there, number 36. This is against the Danvers game, and Robert Jones again gets in and causes a fumble in the Danvers game. This is in the Marblehead game. It's a big turning point right here. Robert picks this off and goes for a touchdown here. Hand comes out about the 10-yard line. He almost grabs him out of the ground, but he ends up getting in the end zone and does a nice job. So Robert's been a good player for us this year. This last one here is Jamal Wilson. Jamal's the first time he's ever played football, and here he is against Swampscott with a nice pick and nice interception, and he's really come along and done a nice job for us.
You mentioned a kid who I thought, from the starting point to the finish up until Thanksgiving, has been the player that's improved the most for you since last year, including this year. Walter White has just done a terrific job, I think, for you.
Walter's been a very big surprise for us, a pleasant surprise. Here's a big catch against Beverly, third long, and again, most of it was on defense. He plays outside linebacker for us, and Leroy was banged up, and Madrano was banged up early on, and we put Walter was our backup middle linebacker. He has an interception against Gloucester, and we tried him outside, and he handled it. He handled it real well. So again, like I said, it's been hard for Dave Madrano to get his job back with Walter in there, and we're looking forward to to having him back next year. That's going to be a big nucleus of our team.
Of course, he had that oddball play, the punt, where he blocked it right back in the hands. He made a great play to go over the defender.
You need a lot of luck sometimes.
Right back to,
you do. You need a lot of luck to win. It just isn't all calling plays and playing defense. And I try to tell our kids that we've lost 3 in a row, and we go up and block the punt, and the punt comes right back up to the punter, and he's the only one that can't advance it, and he did. He advanced it for a first down, and they kept the drive alive for Salem. So it's just one of those things, but it was a great block by Walter.
Over the years, the defense has been the big thing for English. You've been up near or on top of the conference as far as fewest points allowed, and that's been a big plus. And you did it again. You had a couple of games where you gave up some points, but other than that, a couple of them on defense. But most of the time, the defense did the job. Yeah,
the defense did an excellent job for us. Again, I think we're up at the top. The first guy here, Zimmerowski, as Dave was talking about, doing it both on the field and in the classroom. Mike has a 4.5 GPA, and he's ranked like number 4 or 5 in his class. And again, you talk about leadership on the field and just doing the right thing. Mike is one of the nicest kids you'll ever want to meet, and one of the nicest kids I've ever coached. You see him here with a big sack against Mason, and it made Mason cough the ball up there. And then we go with Mark Mancini, our other defensive tackle. He's done an excellent job all year putting pressure on quarterbacks for us. You see him there against Bosco, and here's one against Beverly. That was a big sack at that point in the game. And here he is against Danvers with a tackle on Sawalski.
Quietly, he's been one of your better linemen.
Rob Kempton, I think, one of the best middle linebackers in the conference. He loves to hit people. He's the only guy in the middle. He's all by himself. He finds the football. He always, he has a knack for finding the football, and he's not afraid to hit people. He again, like I said, he's been one of my best players over the last 2 years, and another one of my captains. Mike Curtis, another pleasant surprise. Only a sophomore, two-way starter for us. 5'10", 240. Another one on the honor roll this quarter, as Kempton was, and a lot of these guys academically did a great job for us. Here you see him putting pressure on the Danvers quarterback, so we're looking forward to having him back next year too. His father was an excellent player up at English. And John Pachuki was another pleasant surprise for us this year. Here you see him with a big sack, a big tackle in the Swampscott game. And then Marblehead, when we just took the lead early, they come out throwing, and John picked it off, and just give us a 2-touchdown cushion here late in the game. He went in for us, and John's been around for 4 years. He's been one of those kids that always did whatever you want him to do. Early on as a freshman and a sophomore, John, go to the store, do this, do that. Here a big hit, and it's paid off. He worked hard in the off season. He ran track, he lifted weights, and he's come out and he started cornerback for us, and he alternates with Leroy Brown at wide receiver, and he's done an excellent job all year for us.
Well, as we said with the other coaches, the only thing left to do now is throw it up and let's play football on Thursday.
We're going to play in the Mud Bowl on Thursday.
I was going to say, it doesn't look like the weather's going to be that good, so...
the weather or the shape of the field, I think. The shape of the field, me and Dave were talking earlier about that. It's just, it's a sin that a field in that type of complex like that is under that much use during the season that... coming down to Thanksgiving Day, playing a big football game that we're going to have to play under those conditions, it's just overused.
The middle of the field is really going to be
it's
tough.
gone.
Well, it's been gone. It's been gone for a while, too, and it's not, it just has to be taken care of. If you just let things go, it's what's going to happen,
That's for sure. What we're going to do now is pull out 4 winners. We'll ask you to dip in our magic Paul Revere Bowl and pick out 2 apiece. Our question last week was, who is the all-time leading rusher in the NFL? And, of course, the coaches know that it was Walter Payton. And we hope the people at home know it was Walter Payton. And we've got 4 winners, and Gary's got 2 over there, and Dave's got 1 and 1 more. We've got Sean Stellato from Salem that you just pulled out, Marty Harrington from Lynn, Maurice Cordy, I guess, from Cherry Street in Lynn, and Bill McKenzie from Lynn are our 4 winners. So that's our 4 winners from last week, and you can become a winner next week by just picking the 4 winners of the 3 local games, as well as St. John's Prep and Xaverian. Call 581-9061 and give us our picks for Thanksgiving Day. And we hope everybody's going to get out and support all the local football teams. We hope to see Manning Bowl packed. It's still for the pride of Lynn, for the Lynn Championship is the way it should be, even though it's not for playoff berth or the Northeastern Conference, as it has been the last couple of years.
It's the first time in 4 years it won't be staying in Lynn.
That's true, and it's still an important game. It's still a big part of Thanksgiving, and we want to see everybody get out there and support the football teams. Dave, as usual, we thank you very much for being a big supporter of us all year. Gary,
thanks, John. You guys do a great job.
Thank you.
Great job.
Okay. Well, as we said, get out there on Thanksgiving Day, and if you can't, make sure you tune in to us on the following Tuesday for Sports Weekly. So that's going to do it. We hope you enjoyed our preview and all our highlights, and we'll see you again next week on Sports Weekly.